Hi, y'all, and welcome to episode 3 of Strip Down with Mary Ann. I am Mary Ann. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to go ahead and start right away with trigger warning in case you couldn't tell from the title. My name is Mary Ann. I am a survivor of childhood pervasive abuses and also human trafficking. And so I talk about those things. And so I want you to know this episode in particular, we are going to be going very heavy into human trafficking. And so just know off the top, my intention is never to harm. And so if I touch something, please reach out to your people. And if you don't have people, hit me up and I will help you find some people. So episode 3, hi, thank you for coming. Today's episode is the price of rape, or what the F is a survivor expert. So let's just jump right in. I also want a disclaimer on this one. My intention is not to harm anyone, okay? My intention is never to be combative, judgmental, any of those things. Confrontational a little bit, right? Because this is not being done well in the anti-trafficking movement. And my goal is for my sisters and brothers to not feel alone in their abuse, in the feelings after, in the behaviors, in the thoughts and the feelings and all of those things. My goal is also to help people do this better. Okay, so if something I say hurts your feelings, then I'm going to ask you to please check your actions and see if your actions line up with what is best practices. So that's my disclaimer there. And if I'm wrong, let me know. So I've been wrong before, y'all. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about first a survivor expert. So what is a survivor expert? So in anti-trafficking movement, a survivor is someone who has survived human trafficking. That's an easy one, right? We're also called lived experience experts, subject matter experts. That it changes every few years. Now, someone who has lived experience, who has survived human trafficking, and they are an expert now. What does that mean? I looked up some things for us today. An expert is a person who has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of or skill in a particular area. So a person who has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge. Some people say that an expert is someone who just has more knowledge than the other people. So the others in that circle, room, group, whatever it is, the person with the most knowledge of that topic. I've also heard you must have 10,000 hours in a subject to become an expert in it. Okay, so that is what we are saying when we say an expert. A lived experience expert, a survivor expert is someone who has experience in human trafficking, personal experience in human trafficking, okay, has survived that life, has come out of that life, has spent time healing, okay, and is now to a point where they can use all of that knowledge out of their mouth to help others, okay? So that's how we are coming up with the term survivor expert. That's where we're at with that. When we talk about paying survivor experts, paying any experts, right? This wasn't easy, y'all. So I went to look to see what other experts make. Well, and it's very difficult. So the best I could come was experts who are sharing their knowledge on a stage, right? That was the best I could really get. And that's really what I'm talking about. If you've hired a survivor in your organization, please pay them whatever is fair for that job. I'm speaking specifically for when people are asking us to speak publicly, to share our story, to speak on a stage, to speak on this, right? To speak. Nobody pays me for this. This is me doing this. Okay, so what do other experts get paid in the field? Other experts for this type of sharing of knowledge, right? For being the expert, for getting all that knowledge in your brain, for all of those years that it took to get the knowledge in your brain, all of the years it took to heal, and then spew the knowledge out. $300 to $400 per hour, including prep time, okay? Including travel. So other experts, if you ask someone who is an expert in, I don't know, widgets, to come and speak to your organization, you're going to pay them $300 to $400 for their time. That's the average. Average means some make more, some make less, but that's what most people make. That would be the general consensus. And so $300 to $400 an hour, including however much time they put into preparing for that speech, right? Which can be quite lengthy. And then whatever travel it took, whether it was airfare, hotels, or just, driving, whatever. Took care of all of that. When we start to talk about human trafficking survivor experts, there's a gross difference. And I use the word gross in two ways there. So while other experts are making this amount of money for speeches, now some of y'all do this great. If you do this great, please don't come at me, okay? You know you do it great. I'm not talking to you, okay? I'm talking to the other people. So if you don't do it great, please listen, okay? Or even if you think you do it great, listen, and then you'll go, hey, yeah, I do that right, okay? I'd appreciate you just sticking with me for this one. I'm good. So human trafficking experts, the first thing I see is we're expected to work for free. We are expected to share our story, to donate our expert story experience, because, please listen all the way through, the organizations who ask us to speak tend to be nonprofits and churches, right? They tend to be people who don't really raise money to earn it for themselves. They raise money to give it away. Okay. And so I love both nonprofits and churches. I've worked for nonprofits. I go to church, right? I love it all. So please don't hear any of that. I'm not saying anything against them, but they often mistakenly think that we should donate our services without realizing the actual price of our services. Okay. And so we're going to get to that. And so that's the first. They ask us to speak for free, and they ask us to donate our time because they don't have money, and I get that. They sometimes pay us with gift cards, okay? Gift cards aren't inherently bad. Please don't hear that either. However, as survivors, we're supposed to be learning how to do things we didn't know how to do in the life. So maybe how to budget, how to, work a 9 to 5 and budget out our money and pay our bills. And often, wherever we work, we don't make a fortune, okay? Often, we don't even have a high school diploma, or maybe we just have a high school diploma and maybe a certificate. And so people don't want to pay us for what we have on paper, right? And so we don't get paid very much. And so when we're learning to budget and you give us a gift card inherently is seen as extraneous, right? It's a gift. It's not part of your budget. And so if I'm working, I need actual pay in the form of a paycheck or an honorarium, a dollar amount that I can stick into my bank account so that I can pay my bills. Because when you give me that gift card, it's very hard for me to go pay my electric bill with it. It's very hard for me. You almost force me to use it for myself. And I've heard people say, oh, treat yourself. No, baby, I needed to eat. Okay, I needed to go to Publix. I needed to pay my electric bill. I needed gas in my car. And your $20 gift card was not helping, right? It was more of a burden than it was a help, okay? So please don't pay us in gift cards. I've also heard that when you work for organizations, okay, that you sharing your story is part of what you do. No. When you work for organizations, you speaking about the organization or about your particular work in the organization is definitely under your job scope. Okay, I'm sure it's written in somewhere. Read the fine lines. I'm sure it is. However, your personal trauma story is not owned by that organization, and they should not be asking you to share it for free, okay? Again, you are an expert in your personal trauma. I am an expert in Mary Ann's own trauma. I am not an expert in your trauma. I'm not an expert in my neighbor's trauma. I'm an expert in my trauma, right? If you want me to share knowledge that is only in my brain, right? I'm the only one that has all of this. Okay. Woo! Lucky me. So if you want me to share that, you should be paying me at the rate of someone who has something that nobody else in the world has, right? So if you work for an organization, they don't own your trauma. They should pay you if they ask you to use that, okay? And then the last part of how we get paid, I think, is we get paid much less than other experts. We get paid less just across the board, 300 to 400. We don't get that for the same type of venue, right? For the same type of venue as other experts. We are often asked, coerced is another way to say that, into sharing our story for free or for less. People have said, and have said not just to me, but to this isn't just Mary Ann's story. Please don't hear Mary Ann's griping either. I talk to survivors, y'all. I talk to them and I say, what are the problems? What can I throw out there? And these are the things that survivors have said to me. Mary Ann, please say this. Please say that. Please let people know. Thank you. I gladly will. And so people will pay us less. They will say things like, well, we're not going to earn as much, so you have to get less. You wouldn't be able to do that to your doctor. You wouldn't be able to do that to somebody else. And even if you ask us to donate our services, I've donated my speeches, I have, but it has to be my choice, right? You should be paying us, and then it should be my choice without coercion to say, oh no, I believe in this cause, I believe in this organization, or this is part of my offering, this is part of my charity, this is part of how I like to give back. Great. But if you don't pay me first, then I'm not offering, right? You're taking. That's different. If you're just telling me that I should donate it, no ma'am. No, you pay me and I decide where I donate my money. Thank you very much. Okay, so that is my spiel on paying an expert. So we've talked about what is a survivor expert, okay? Why are we experts? How much do experts get paid elsewhere? What should we get paid? How are we getting paid now? Let's figure out how to make that better. And I'm not putting a dollar amount on any of us. If you make more than that, go. But if you're one of those people who are handing out your services for free, baby, that doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't. And so let's stand together on this one, that they have to pay us for stuff like that. They don't get to just take anymore. Which brings me up to the part I know you've all been waiting for. What is the price of rape? What is the price of my rape, right? What is the price of one rape? What is the price of decades of rapes? I know that hits and I know it hurts. But when we start talking about what an expert is, please let's recognize what we are talking about. You're not paying me because I went to school. Okay, I did, but hardly anybody cares about that. Nobody even asks about it. So you're not paying me because I went to school. As a survivor expert, as a lived experience expert, you are paying me because I got raped a whole lot, spent a whole lot of time healing, and now am willing to say it publicly. That's a little different, y'all. That's a little different. You are asking people to take the worst thing of their lives, dredge it all up, smile and let you cry and hug us, and then just go peace out and drive home? Does that sound fair to you? I didn't really think it would. I really did think that when you put it that way, people might hear it a little bit better. I don't like that we have to say things in a very blunt manner to get people to understand. I also do not like that I have been saying these same things for a very long time. And like I said, nothing on this podcast is because Marianne has a vendetta or an agenda or whatever. Anything on the podcast, on YouTube, is because I talk to survivors. That's my heart, right? Those are the people that I identify with more than any other population in the world. I am closest to people with extreme traumas, okay? I understand them. They understand me. And what I have heard loud and clear, big and loud and clear, is that organizations who are hiring us are doing it wrong, right? We have to do better. My heart is in this work. I don't want to do it anymore, but my heart is in this work. My heart is in helping us all do it better. My heart is in changing legislature so that there are laws that help us better. My heart is in helping organizations do this better. My heart is in helping heal each one of us who identifies like I do, helping us to not feel so alone, helping us to recognize, oh, I do that too. Oh, that sounds similar to something I feel, think, whatever, right? And in helping us build a strong community. Because what I do know is that anybody leaving trafficking needs a whole community who does it well. We've already been exploited. We've already been hurt. We've already been sold. I don't know what else you think can be done to us. We've already been through all that. When we're trying to walk a new life and you all are using our trauma for your own benefit, go back to trauma porn last week, right? Which is what not paying us is ultimately using our trauma for your benefit. And so when you all are doing that, what are you teaching us too? You're teaching us that even in the real world, even in society, y'all are just as shady and dirty as trafficking. The games we see are the same games we already saw, y'all. We already know them too. It is unfair. And it's unfair to prey on us, because that is what it is when you don't pay someone for the work they do. That is labor trafficking, that is exploitation, right? There's a lot of things that can cross over into. So when you don't pay us a fair wage for our trauma, you are exploiting us all over again. You are no better than a trafficker. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I know your heart is to do this well. Let's do it well. I am happy to talk to anybody who wants to talk after this one. If you would like to hire me to come talk to your organization, you can find me at mynamemyvoice.org. That is my website. It tells you a little bit more about what I do to earn money. This podcast is absolutely free. And so I like to put out free content for the masses. But if you would like me to come do specific training for your organization, I would love to. I do lots of different types of training, as well as ongoing consultation for organizations who do anti-trafficking work. So that's at mynamemyvoice.org. Of course, you can go to YouTube, see some of the shorts that are over there. I think what's over there right now, Hugs. I lost my page. I know Hugs is over there. Something else, don't hug me. Instagram gets updated daily. Please reach out to me in any of those venues if you'd like to chat, talk. If you have something constructive to say, if I'm doing something wrong, please tell me. And I appreciate that so much. And this podcast every single Friday. Thank you for coming back week after week, week 3, y'all. I can't wait for next week. Thank you for coming. Peace.